You died. Dumb dies.
Dumb ways to die.
So many
dumb
ways to die. Where's my rule?
Now, believe it or not, I'm not a man who gets made to feel dumb very often. But there was this one time in Battlefield 1, honestly, one of the best Battlefield games I've ever played. Set in World War I, it had a real sort of like grittiness to it, and the online competitive nature of it was actually like, it felt really visceral, and I liked that. Yeah, true, it was a bit over the top and silly in places, but that kind of leads me to my story. Now, it gave you the ability to ride horses. Now, I don't ride horses in real life. Maybe I've bagged a few mares in my time, if you know what I'm saying. But like, there was a severe joy of just jumping on horseback, getting a sword out and riding and just cutting people down left, right and centre. I felt like I was some sort of amazing knight just tackling down the enemy team, and I thought nothing could stop me. And apparently that included a tank, because a tank sort of rolled around this corner on one of the sort of like desert levels. And I just remember thinking to myself, not the abject fear of, here be meat, there be mortar. Instead it was, oh, I reckon I can take on that. It must have been how the Light Brigade felt before they suddenly realised that they can't just outrun machine gun bullets, because I died so bad. And the worst thing is that I remember just like saving the clip of it, thinking nothing of it, and then going back a few months later and reliving my shame and just being like, yeah, that was a good day for all involved. Learn your lessons, kids. Don't run horses at vehicles. Life lessons with Jules Gill.
The dumbest way I've died in a video game is through experimentation, and I'm not sorry about it because it was in Mass Effect 2. And it's when you're with Samara, and you know, she's a lovely, lovely Asari. She's got a lovely soft voice. She's just nice, and she comes up to you and goes, right, I've got some killing to do. My daughter's an absolute bitch who keeps having sex with people and murdering them. She's an Ardat Yakshi. She does something bad with sex diseases, and you've got to go and seduce her so I can absolutely beat the shit out of her and teach her a lesson for being a black widow lady. I played it through the nice way, the first way around, because I was like, Samara's so nice, like I don't want any harm to come to her. But if you play it the other way, you can kill off Samara and replace her with Morinth instead, and be like, okay, I've got the crazy sex demon on my team instead. And if you have her on your team, you can talk to her all the time and get to know her and get to romance her and be like, ooh, hello, Morinth, how are you doing? And she's always like, I'm really good, please have sex with me. So you can do that. And obviously the whole point of this whole narrative is, if you have sex with her, you die. That's what she does. She kills people, she gets inside their head, she blows them up from the inside, goes all weird demonic with her crazy like black eyes, and is like, oh. And everyone warns you, they say, hey, Morinth wants to bang you, don't do it. You're gonna die if you bang Morinth, don't bang Morinth. But it gets to the point where you can bang Morinth and you're like, maybe I'll just bang her, and yeah, you die. You die is what you find, critical mission failure from doing the do. So I feel like that is the dumbest way to die in a video game, because it literally tells you so many times, don't do it, and you do it anyway. And I feel like all of us have done it at some point. You've got to go through and play all the possibilities of that game. So you know what? Not sorry about it. Wouldn't do it again.
You would do it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, these were really hard to think of, but as soon as you tap into that mindset of like when shouldn't I have died, then like yeah, they all sort of come screaming into view. So there's one in Red Dead Redemption 2, anytime you try and get away through a forest, because that game's horse AI, although you're supposed to, the way that I found out, tips and tricks, the game doesn't tell you, check out the video. The whole thing with that game and that game's horse AI is just all over the place. If you let go, I think it's of the sprint button, then the horse AI will kick in and will navigate the forest for the most part. But if you're trying to get through there yourself, it'll just aim at the tree. You'll just plow straight into the tree with Arthur Morgan going right over the front of the neck. I was like, the mane into the tree. That's dumb in itself. And that'll just, most of the time, that'll either kill you or mortally wound you, which is always good. But my main one was in PUBG. One of the only times that I used to really play PUBG, and I got right down to the final two. And the final battle was right all the way down to this one house where it was me and one dude. And I was like trying to do this sort of firefight with this guy in the living room. And I saw the stairs in the corner. I thought I can make a getaway. I can go up the stairs. Maybe it'll get me like a different angle. I can get him when he comes up the stairs. And then in my brain, I always do like, what was the most like Matrix way I could do this? How could I style this up a little bit? So I went up the stairs and I saw ahead of me was an entrance to a different bedroom, and I thought, well, I'll throw a grenade which will bounce off the wall and go behind. It'll hit the wall and go behind me. So when the guy comes up behind me, the grenade will blow up on him. You know what I mean? So I threw the grenade. That game's grenade physics don't allow for that. So like, just pretty much hit the wall. It did bounce, but it just bounced right back at me, and then I couldn't like move fast enough, so I just killed myself, and then I didn't play PUBG again. So yeah, grenade death, always good. Bounce the grenade, kill yourself. Horse death, grenade death, all good.
I die in video games quite a lot, but one that did spring to mind was because quite recently I just finally got around to finishing Horizon Zero Dawn, which I loved, but for some reason just never wanted to finish. I just couldn't face it being over, and for that reason I kind of left it for a year on the final mission. The game's very kind and it says to you, by the way, this is the point of no return. If you want to go and do other things and complete the game and then come back, that's fine. So that was very kind. So I did that and then didn't complete the game. So I finally came back to it. It'd been obviously like a year, so I'd forgotten what to do, and went into the final fight, and it's with this big stocky man. I've forgotten his name because, like I say, it'd been a year. And just kept bashing my head against him again and again. Was getting one shot, like blown up by this like green fire stuff, and trying obviously to blow him up, and it was just doing nothing. He blocks all your arrows, he had loads of ads, and I was like, damn, this game is difficult. I forgot how difficult this game was. And this sort of went on for about an hour. I was trying again and again and again, dying, getting ragdolled across the room by this big, thick boy, and I was just like, right, okay, I just want to finish this game now and enjoy it and see what the ending is. I'm just going to pop the difficulty down just a tad, because to my knowledge, I was playing it on normal difficulty. Oh, open up the settings. Turns out I was playing it on the highest flippin' difficulty the whole time. And I was like, well, that's maybe why I was getting tossed about like a flippin' ragdoll. So yeah, an hour of that before I realized it was on like ultra super mega one-shot hardcore edition, and then I popped it down to easy and he died in about 20 seconds. It was so embarrassing, and I was sitting there just going, well, that's like an hour of my night. I could have been literally doing anything else. So yeah, I count that as pretty dumb, just somehow not realizing the difficulty was on like 9001 the whole night. Pretty dumb, yeah.
It's hard to boil it down to one thing because I've died a lot because I'm bad at games. Simple as. Ever clipped a tree in Just Cause 2 with like a wing mirror? Boom! The whole car explodes. It's fantastic. But no, specifically for me, my mortal enemy in gaming is gravity, mainly because I'm bad at platforming, apparently. Going through Dark Souls, my favorite thing to do is to dodge out of the way and fall off a cliff. That bonfire in... Is it Undeadburg? Like the second bonfire? That's how far I've got in Dark Souls, basically. There's a bridge that comes from that, and the number of times I just backtracked off that bridge and fell to my death over and over and over again. That was a recurring theme. And do you know what? Weirdly, I think I picked this up from Mario Kart of all things. Cutting corners, getting round areas as tightly as possible doesn't work in Spyro. When I eventually got around to playing Spyro, the number of times I just find myself walking across like, you know, a 90-degree turn and thinking, yeah, I can walk across this corner. No. Gravity hates me, and I hate gravity. I want to be floating in the air, please.
A dragon flies, Rich. Spyro has wings.
Hit the jump button, Rich.
More of a glide, really.
You know what?
I couldn't do that either. I was bad at gliding. Spyro was bad, man.
Oh! Dumbest things that are said.
You're welcome.
Well, mine is Sekiro, and it's not kind of in a glamorous, glorious way where I died to a gigantic boss and then finally got my own back. I died to a wall as soon as you take control of your character, because you wake up as Sekiro, and you kind of don't know what's going on. You make your way out of a little cave, and you get to a part where you have to hug a wall and then sort of shimmy your way across to the next area. And it's simple enough. You walk up to the wall, you press a button, and then the guy does his thing. It's the most basic thing in the entire world. And yet I walked up to this wall, and there's a ledge next to it, and just sort of fell off, and it fell to the ground. It was like you died, and I thought, oh, brilliant, I'm in for a great ride here. Sekiro's supposed to be hard enough as it is, never mind me just walking off ledges. But that's not even the death. The death that I'm talking about today comes immediately after that, when I respawned back at the beginning, and I got the yips. I'm not sure if you guys know what the yips is, but I found this out through How I Met Your Mother, actually. It's when you sort of you've done something so many times naturally through your life, and it's sort of like second nature. You can just do it through muscle memory, but then you sort of start overthinking it and you just can't do it for whatever reason. For some reason, I got back to where I was and I didn't know what to do. I just sort of froze. I was sort of thinking, so scared I was going to make the same mistake again, that I couldn't press the button properly. And once again, I walked up to the wall and immediately went off the ledge. And I was like, am I going to be in this perpetually stuck in this loop forever and ever and ever? And I got so worried. I was like, my entire gaming life is falling apart. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I can't even press a button. How am I going to beat Sekiro? Obviously walked up to the wall after that. Third time's the charm. Did it straight away because I'm a G and a Major League player, baby. Whoa, 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 dab.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. Now, if you want more chatty faces, why not watch through the rest of our playlist? But I just want to say a big thank you to the brilliant channel sponsors for voting on this week's chatty question. And if you want to join the vote, then why not consider hitting the join button and becoming a sponsor today? And we will see you next week. Bye!